Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, the Farm Thinking Right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book. We got some good ones. I'm gonna wrap up the lesson I gave you earlier about essential concepts to master on your road to enlightenment. These are things that you need to get a grip on, get better understanding of, so you can master it for yourself. Let's talk about it. Right isms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get it together. So I'll ask the question: do you know you? Well, when I'm through, that's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them, don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right? Thinkers know thyself. And to Maya, be true. This is more of P-Funk's philosophy on more essential concepts to master on your road to enlightenment, aka immortality. Becoming one with God, that's what it's all about. Y'all call it heaven. You got a bunch of names for it, but the idea is you're on the road to get there. Let me help you with that. Let's start with first thing is right action. One of my favorites. Okay, right action is maya. Okay, and balance meaning thinking with both hemispheres, not just be a left side brain thinker, men, right side for women. No, you put them both together and you come up with a better decision based on what's best for you. If you just do the left side, you're forgetting the right side. If you just do the right side, you're forsaking the left. So keep them together. That's right. And always, when two opposites come together to make a whole, that's how you create. Right action, aka Mayat or Mishkanet, we know it better as karma, okay? Yoga or Ari. It says, be industrious. Let thine eyes be open, lest thou become a beggar, for the man that is idle cometh not to honor. If you ain't about nothing, if you ain't doing nothing, ain't nothing coming to you. You don't get nothing. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. So you got to do something. And karma says if you do this, you can get that. Cause and effect. Because you didn't do nothing, you don't get nothing. Same cause and effect. It don't change. So it tells you if mind and divine speech, Makaru from the heart, when used as meant and correctly, what happened? You will not differ from the immortals where in any way. The goal is to become godlike, righteous, service, virtuous person while in the physical form. Master all these qualities of yourself, eradicate the negative, and make yourself immortal. Men are immortal gods. Gods are Men are mortal gods. Gods are immortal men. Let's talk about it. And the goal for us to become immortal while still here. And the way to gain a good reputation and understanding is for you to endeavor to be what you desire to be. Again, goal set. We all have aspiration of being and doing. So let yours be what drives you. Seek to perform your duties to your best and highest ability. I call it self-effort. Give 100% everything. This way, what your actions will be what they call blameless. I did what I was supposed to do. Don't blame me. I did what I was supposed to do. That's all you good do. That's all you need to do is what you're supposed to do. And your action will be blameless. So there is no life for the soul except in knowing, not believing, and there is no salvation but doing. Hello. You're responsible for the actions. And this is my favorite. I got it highlighted too. Matter of fact, wait a minute. Right thinkers. Give thyself to God and keep thyself daily for God. And let tomorrow be as today. What they're telling you. Stay up, become God conscious all the time. I got my mind on God and God's on my mind all the time. So that's keep my mind from what? Being idle. Idle mind is the devil's workshop. A busy mind keeps the devil out. That's right thinking philosophy. That's why it's one of my favorites. Another one, listening. A lot of people talk, and we all do, but he gave you 2 ears to hear twice as much as you got to say. So listening, they says, the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of those who understand. If you think you know everything, you believe what you know and everything, you ain't gonna learn nothing, okay? Don't make a difference who's wise, how wise they are. You ain't paying attention to none of that. And they who hear are beloved of God. That's the sense he gave you. He wants you to use it. And hearing creates goodwill. Hearing the voice of Father, Mother, God, all requires what? Silence. Still yourself of the body and of one's mind. It's called meditation. To do that, you have to meditate. What they're saying, they say it, but they don't say it in the words. Meditate, okay? In the yoga philosophy, they ran meditation down your throat. Why? That's the way you commune with your higher self. They let you know that, okay? They beat around the mulberry bush for me, for my personal taste. All right. Hear the words of prudence. Give heed unto her counsels, and store them in thine heart. When I was a Mason, I learned the Masonic law. I got my dog, the Mama Mark Dog, Morals and Dogma book over there. I got my encyclopedia of Masonic knowledge. So I got information when I was in Masonic order. I got all the information I needed to study with to get what I needed. Okay, knowledge, and took it all here. And you have her maxims are universal. Everybody can practice this philosophy. Right thinking philosophy, Masons, anyone you choose, anybody is free to anybody. Okay, but all the virtues lean upon her. Why? Because she is the guide and the mistress of human life. That means the spirit that's in you, the female aspect of listening, hearing the voice of what? Truth. They give it a female concept. Here's one that I'm not big on. What? Forgiveness. I'm not the most forgiving person. And I'm not changing. I don't care what definition you use. I don't care what religious philosophy, dogma you say. I'm not changing my philosophy on forgiveness. Please understand that. Let's talk. So, forgiveness. If you are angered by a misdeed, something done to you, then you lean toward the man on account of what? His righteousness. Pass over the misdeed and don't remember it, since God was silent to yours and of your first day of your misdeed. We all erred. We all did something. So that's what he said. Don't judge nobody about their misdeeds. No. You should worry about yourself. That's self. And forgiving what you need to forgive. I ain't got there yet. So why seeking thy revenge? O man, with that purpose is it that thou pursuest, thinkest thou to pain thine adversity by it? Getting revenge meaning that's gonna make the situation better because you're gonna get revenge for what somebody done to you. I understand it, I get it. But my ego said, punch him in the face. Excuse me. Know that thou thyself feelest its greatest torments. If I reacted, then I satisfied my ego by punching him in the face. There's some consequences that's going to come with that. If I'm ready, prepared to deal with those consequences, I will punch him in the face. If I choose not to want to deal with them, I can't do that. That's right thinking at its best. That's what forgiveness is all about. I want to do it. And given the chance, I might do it. So I ain't sold on I won't. I ain't saying I won't. I don't know how I react if I got face to face with him. So I try to avoid this scenario and make it in my favor. But always remember this about forgiveness. Be always more ready to forgive than to return in revenge or had injury, hurt them. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. But they who watch for an opportunity for revenge, they got me. Hiss and waste against themselves. Why? And they draw us down mischief on what? Their own head. Right there, I told you, if I punch him in the face, I'm satisfied my ego, I'm getting off my little frustration of what I think I should. But what's that? He's going to sue. He's going to try to do everything he could to do something to me. Why? Because I got physical with him. If I don't do that, that don't happen. Cause and effect. So you really cast your own expression on yourself when what? You revenge. That's what they're showing you. I get it. I understand it. I'm philosophically aware of that. But every now and then I get personal. Well, I have an ego too. And again, the root of revenge. The root of revenge is what? Is the weakness of one's soul. That's the ego. The ego only wants what it wants. It ain't trying to forgive. So that part about me, I haven't really conquered. But I ain't trying to forgive. Again, the weakness of your soul. But the most object and tumultuous are the most addicted to it. Okay? I'm not quick to flop it down like I used to be. Okay, I got more control of my emotions. But most people like that, they can't wait. They can't wait to what? Exact revenge. That's where I got it from. I'm just still trying to get rid of it, but he's still there. But I want to move on. Again, it ain't forgiving. It's hard for me. Okay, if you wrong me, I got last one. Wrap it up with this whole point about forgiveness. It says one cannot force another to grow beyond their own capabilities. Capacity to what? To be who they are. We are who we are. And if your understanding ain't up to level, you might do things that you might regret. And we all have done that too. But if you allow the ego to have its way, you will regret that action. I'm trying not to have that situation. Moving on. Now, excuse me. Oh, we got some more. I got some good ones here. Change is quick. It says, change is Lord of the universe. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency. I agree. I understand. Hope you do too. Ain't nothing more to say about that. Readiness to grow spiritually. That's what I want my right thinkers to always be prepared for. To be ready to grow spiritually. That means learn your spiritual lesson, practice your spiritual disciplines, master them. And when the ears of the student are ready to hear, then come the lips to fill them with wisdom, aka the master with words of wisdom and truth, aka sage. But when the student is ready, excuse me, the master will appear. When you ready, tune in. I'm here. What you gotta do is tune in. I'll be right here waiting for you. That's what we do. So again, but when the student is ready, the master will appear. But for those who understand or believe will be persecuted and ridiculed for what it is that they following that other people don't. When you do something different than the mainstream or the crowd, you're going to take the beat up. You're going to get ridiculed. They thought I was crazy 10 years ago, so I understand that. But again, being true to growing spiritually, the lips of the wise sage are as the doors of a cabinet, and no sooner are they open, but treasures are poured out before you. When you get a good sage, a good teacher, you will get the benefits of getting all that he has. All you got to do is be ready and be willing to grow spiritually. Like unto trees of gold arranged in beds of silver are wise sentences uttered in due season. Only when you're ready will you hear the truth. That's what they're saying. And that's called being readiness for growing spiritually. Now they got a line here that says, the double nature of human beings. I tell you all the time, we're spirit beings having human experience. Okay? That's what makes us human. The experience that we have in the physical body. The spirit is eternal, everlasting, and is of God. And he wants it back because it's on loan. How you get it back? Purify it. That's the name of the game. All right. Humankind is a soul animal that is twofold. Pay attention. Here we go. One part is simple. That's the human. That's essential. As say the Greeks, but which we call the form of the divine. The simulated humankind is also fourfold, that which is Greeks call Hylic, 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 which we call cosmic, meaning up there. Okay? So, twain are the forms of food for your soul and your body, of which all animals, even us, consist. Some are nourished with the twofold form, while others with a single. So their soul is nourished by what? The ever restless motion of the cosmos up there. And their bodies have their growth from foods and drawn up from the water and the earth of the inferior world. Human. Spirit is superior. Spirit is divine. God hath made, listen, humankind of soul and body, that is, of an eternal and a mortal nature. Physical body, mortal. Eternal spirit, eternal. Eternal. So that any animal thus blends can contain what we call dual origin and admire and worship things of heaven, aka God, which is divine. And to cultivate, meaning work on it, practice it, master it. And now it will govern things right here on earth in your daily life. For it is plain that mankind, pay attention, could not have sustained the stain of both unless formed out of both natures, meaning so as to be able to to possess the powers of being able to cultivate your earthly things and loving heaven. When you do right here on earth, you get the key, the passport to what? Heaven. I call it heaven, the afterlife, field of reeds, mentor. But that's what eternity is. It will be forever. But the kicker is you will know who you are forever. That's the part that excites me. Balance and harmony. Again, two opposites that kind of come together to create something magnificent. Male and female come together to create life. Either it's going to be a male or a female, depending who's the stronger gene. We know that physics and all that good constant science is proven. All right, but balance and harmony. What it means, Harmony is the union of opposites. Maya. Heart and mind. Mind does thinking, heart does the feeling. They come together. The temple is where God dwells, not the temple, not made with human hands. God dwells in the midst of man, his creation, the heart. So these two things can become one. That's the perfect example of harmony and balance. From my perspective, my concept, again, I conceptualize what I learned and I can throw a few things together. But it's both hemispheres of the brain also. All right, I told you that already, excuse me. So harmony is the union of opposites. Let's go. In all thy understanding, again, you need to understand. Let a reasonable assurance animate thy endeavors. If thou despair of success, meaning if you think you're doing all the right things and you ain't gaining, you ain't getting, you're serving the wrong God or you ain't doing it right. Thou shalt not succeed. Serving and doing things that ain't right, you won't succeed. Simple as that. And watch this. There's no harmony. There's no balance. Okay? So everything flows what? Out and in. Ebb tides flows in, it flows out. Everything has its tides. Okay? All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings manifest in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the same measure as the swing to the left. What matters is the angle of the dangle, or the dangle of the angle. Okay? Rhythm of components. Opposites working together in harmony. That's what Maya represents. Okay? Now, this one here is a little long. And I look at that as fluff. Okay, I'm a fluff here. This is one I would skip over. I'm gonna do that. I'm not doing it. Okay, since you talking about opposites, I'm gonna stay on we talking about balance and harmony. I'm gonna switch over to opposites in creation. Creation is made up of opposites. Watch this. Man is separated into what? Soul, interact of what? The body, the physical body. The human experience, the spirit is the soul in this physical body having its human experience. That's what it's all about. And only when the two sides of his senses agree together does utterance of its thoughts conceived by the mind take place. From the heart to the mind to the manifestation, the triangle. You think it, you think it, you feel it, and you execute it. That's what they're saying to you right here. When your heart and mind are on the same page, anything is possible. Wow, that's God. That's the power. That's where he dwells. And its thoughts have to be conceived by the mind in order for that to take place. Heart, mind, coherence. Watch this. Gender is in everything. Everything has this what? Masculine and feminine. Good, bad, up, down, in, out. The yang, that's the opposite concept, okay? And in creation is the same thing. Principles. You got the male and the female, which represents principles. Gender manifests on all planes until you get to the spirit level. The spirit is no man or female, okay? The spirit, Haru, they call it the great He-She, meaning it's man and woman. Why? It's in the physical body, and it's in the physical man and in the physical woman. So it's the great He-She. But in essence, he's neither. Androgynous, okay? Evil as well as good, they need each other. Evil needs good. Chaos needs order. Night needs day. Get the concept? Again, we're still in duality, in opposites. Evil as well as good, which both operate to what? Advance the great plane of existence. You can't have one like the other. If everything was good, we wouldn't know evil. If everything was evil, we wouldn't know good. Everything was dark, we wouldn't know light. Everything light, we wouldn't know dark. See where that goes? Okay, let me wrap it up for you. I see the clock. I'm going to finish up with this one. Yeah, the next one's I'm going to wrap it up with this one. All right, it's going to be a quick lesson. So, again, in order for you to have peace of mind, there must be strife in order for you to have enjoyment. Joy had to be opposite of what? Pain. You go through the pain, then you get the joy. That's the concept. But both are part of the structure of this physical world and requirements for the instructions of what? The children of God. You need to know you are a spirit being having a human experience. You and God are one. You have to come to grips and understand what that's what the opposites and understanding in human form is all about. We're spirit and human beings. Dual. In dual visuals, right? See what the dual is in there? All right, here you go. Everything is dual. Boy, I'm good at this thing. Thank you. And everything has poles, opposite. Again, no pole, south pole. Okay. Everything has its pair, yin and yang. Okay, opposite of each other. Like is unlike, and unlike are the same. It's just opposites of the identical thing in nature, but different in degrees. Extremes mean all truths are but half truths. Why? All paradoxes may be reconciled. If there's a problem, there's a solution to the problem. There's no problem without a solution. Why? Cause and effect. Built in. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Hope you get the concept. I got more, but I'm going to stop it right here and be back with this talk. Let me get one more there. I like this one. Okay. The divine nature of man and woman. This is what I be trying to tell you. Gods are immortal men. Men are mortal gods who are ignorant of their true self. So when you obtain your knowledge of self, you come who you really are. What? God. Immortal beings having a human experience. Okay? So in doing so, something is added to you that's unlike to what you see. It's hidden. God ain't visible. Something animates. There we go. That spirit. That thy clay higher than all that is the object of thy senses. The physical body is only equipped to what? See, smell, hear, touch, and taste. The five senses. It has to be what? The sixth is the thought process. And for everything to work, the brain got to be included, so thoughts got to be there. So the sixth sense to most people is extrasensory perception. Okay, that's what you're going to call it. I call it thinking. That part right here, the eye, that's the thought. Okay? The first part, smell. Second part, sight. Third part, the hear. The little part, that's the thought. We don't count that. The fourth part is the touching and the tasting, that little tongue thing. Touching come down, tasting the squiggly thing. That's how the body sends information to the brain. That's physical. But when you go beyond what it is, which is the body, thy body remains still because it's matter. And after it is fled, meaning the spirit leaving, your body has got to go. Why? The body no longer exists, so it don't go out, it don't die, so I'm out. So therefore, the spirit is now not part of it. The spirit is immortal. Therefore, it is accommodatable for its actions, accountable for its actions. Meaning, at Judgment Day, you're held accountable for the action, and depending how you live will depend on what's going to happen to you. If you didn't do like Mr. Wright tried to help you do, know thyself, you'll be back. Why? You failed the test of life. Well, I got to know. You know yourself? No, you failed. Hope you enjoy the lesson right there. Just in closing. I mean, you all live to be 100. Don't fail. And me, 100 miles a day. So I never know my right thinkers and now getting more concepts to master oneself on the road to what? Enlightenment, aka know thyself. I'll be back. You know I'm not done.